You won't believe the drama unfolding in Nigeria right now. A young National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) member had the audacity, the absolute nerve, to call the president terrible. And guess what? It has sent shockwaves across the country. Some are cheering her on for speaking her mind, while others are sharpening their pitchforks, ready to silence her forever.
Actually going through, then maybe changes will be made in the government, don't you guys think? And this video, I just want to say to our president, I don't know if there have been any other president that is terrible, but you are such a terrible president. It is so hard. So I'm coming from the supermarket where I went to get foodstuffs, and everything has gone up again. It's just like every single week prices increase. I want to know, what is the government doing about this increment? Is there going to be a particular time where prices will stop going up? Is there going to be a particular time where things are going to go back? Guys, why am I going to get a crate of egg and they're telling me it is 6.5? It doesn't make any sense that egg will cost 6.5. Like, I literally can't remember when egg used to cost 800. And I'm so overwhelmed because this is literally my first time doing this adulthood thing alone. This is my first time moving out of my family house. This is my first time living by myself. And not just that, after I left the supermarket and I got home, my security is bringing NEPA bill, and NEPA bill has gone up by 2 times. Like, it's insane. I can't keep up with these bills. I am so overwhelmed and I'm so exhausted. Every single money that I have been making, I'm using it to pay bills. I don't even get to live properly. The craziest thing was, you want to go out to a certain location with your friends, and Uber is about 25,000. Like, even Uber, that we can't even take Uber. It is crazy. Like, why are things so expensive? And let's not even Lagos stinks. Lagos smells like shit. If you say, okay, I want to take a walk, I'm depressed, let me just take a walk, you can't even take a walk. Like, the place smells like crazy. Why does an entire state smell like this? And what is the government doing about the bad smell? Everything is just so overwhelming. You want to start up a business, and now you have to take a loan to start up a business, and the loan, you don't even know if you can actually repay it, because the business, I don't know, I'm just so tired. Like, why is no one saying anything about it? Being an NYSC copper, there's nothing beneficial about this whole NYSC thing. The money I spend on transportation is just more than the alawi the government gives me. Like, it doesn't, I can't keep up. Like, I'm so tired of this bill and I can't keep up. I am overwhelmed and I'm tired, I'm exhausted. It's too much, and I wish that we would start calling the government out heads on. For example, Tinubu, you are a terrible president. Like, what are you doing to help us? What are you doing to help the economy? You are so terrible. I'm so sick and tired of Nigerians acting like we are strong, and they say, oh, Nigerians, we are actually very strong. Oh, no matter how much they increase things, we still chest it. No, it is not cute. We are cowards. That is a cowardly behavior. You don't stand to ask people, oh, why is this expensive? For example, MTN, what the fuck is even going on? Literally, I spend over like 20,000 on data in a week, and I'm not even joking. 1.5 data cannot even last me for an entire day. I have to do 1.5 like 2 times a day, which is like 3,000 a day. It is too much. Like, what are you guys doing about it? Like, what is happening? I'm tired of paying bills. I feel like I don't have anything. I feel like I don't have any achievement to call my own. Every single time that I work hard, I'm spending it back in the economy to pay bills, and I wasn't created to pay bills. I'm just really tired, and I just want our money to count for something. And when is the government going to actually start working? Because Nigerians are so classist. Everybody now wants to behave as if they are rich. Everybody is faking wealth, but we are ending up being poor because we are struggling so hard to look rich. We're ending up being poor. So I need us as Nigerians to please start calling the government out. We should be tired of this by now. We need to call the government out. Prices need to start one place. Food needs to start one place. The economy needs to start one place. Like, we are tired. It's just too much. The more you work hard to achieve something, the higher it gets. The dream car that I was saving money for has literally gone double. I can't even afford it anymore. Instead, I'm going to use my money to buy, to just keep paying bills. And now house rent is double. Like, I am so sick. And I'm so tired of this. And I really need the government to intervene because I am so overwhelmed.
Now, let's be honest, it's not every day that an NYSC member makes headlines, let alone for criticizing the president. But in a democracy, isn't this what freedom of speech is all about? The ability to call out leadership when things aren't going well. If we start clamping down on young people for expressing their frustration, what's next? Banning complaints about NEPA and fuel scarcity. The real kicker, though, is not even what the NYSC member said. It's the response it triggered. Enter Temitope Ajayi, a senior special assistant to the president, who went full medieval and suggested she should be executed by firing squad. Excuse me, what? Execution? For an opinion, someone needs to tell Ajayi that this isn't Game of Thrones. This is Nigeria, a democratic nation, where people are supposed to be free to express their views, even if they are unpopular. The idea that a simple comment should be met with a literal call for execution is beyond extreme, it's downright dangerous. The fact that we're even having this conversation in 2025 is worrying. Nigeria is not a dictatorship. We have a constitution that guarantees freedom of speech. If politicians want to prove they're doing a great job, perhaps responding with improvements instead of threats would be a better strategy. Imagine if every Nigerian who criticized the government was put in front of a firing squad, we'd be a ghost town by now. Thankfully, not everyone has lost their grip on reality. Atiku Abubakar, the former vice president, stepped in and did what any responsible leader should do, defended the young lady's right to speak. Now, say what you want about Atiku, but in this case, he got it right. He reminded the nation that criticism is not treason, and a government that cannot handle scrutiny is a government that has something to hide. Look, no one is saying that calling the president terrible is the most eloquent form of political discourse. But let's be real, if we started policing harsh words about our leaders, we'd have to shut down every chop bar, Kiki NAPEP, and Twitter thread in Nigeria. People are frustrated. They have every right to be. Inflation is high, insecurity is rampant, and unemployment is through the roof. If the biggest problem our leaders have is a young woman venting on social media, then maybe they need to reassess their priorities. This incident is bigger than just one NYSC member and one statement. It's about the kind of country we want to be. Do we want to be a nation where people are too afraid to speak out? A nation where the government responds to criticism with threats instead of action? Because history has shown that once you start silencing dissent, it never stops with just one person. Today, it's an NYSC member. Tomorrow, it could be journalists, activists, or even regular citizens simply discussing politics over dinner. And let's talk about the irony here. The same government officials who tell young people to speak up and participate in democracy are now threatening them when they do just that. How are we supposed to believe in a democratic future when the moment someone speaks truth to power, they're met with calls for punishment? The real lesson here is that leadership should welcome criticism, not fear it. A government that listens to its people, even when the feedback is harsh, is a government that grows. But a government that tries to crush dissent is a government on borrowed time. And in a country as vocal and passionate as Nigeria, silencing the people is not just undemocratic, it's impossible. So, what happens next? Well, Nigerians are watching. And if there's one thing this country has shown time and time again, it's that we do not take kindly to injustice. The backlash against Ajayi's ridiculous statement is proof that people will not stand by while their rights are trampled on. The government must decide whether it wants to be remembered as a defender of democracy or as a regime that bullied its own people into silence. As we move forward, let's remind ourselves of one thing. Freedom of speech is not a privilege, it's a right. And if the government can't handle being criticized, then maybe it's the government that needs fixing, not the people speaking out. So, to the young NYSC member who dared to speak her mind, know this, you are not alone. Your voice matters, and in a democracy, no one should be silenced for simply telling the truth. What do you think? Was the NYSC member out of line, or is this a wake-up call for Nigeria? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, stay informed, stay engaged, and most importantly, stay vocal. Because in the end, democracy is only as strong as the voices willing to defend it.